Test. One, two, 1, 2. Well, I got to be careful because they're in the next room, so I will whisper what we're going to test here. So hopefully this works, and we're not disturbing anybody, but this is a test of the live sound. We'll be up and running about 2 p.m., the WACE World Conference, Global Charter Signing and Launch. So that should be enough. We will begin at 2 p.m.
unmute the brown microphone, please? All right, hello everyone. Thank you so much. I hope you all enjoyed lunch today. If you could go ahead and find your seat, we will be beginning the conference. Thank you very much.
What a quiet group. I get to sit down. Wow, quiet group of educators. This is an uncommon phenomenon, but I'm appreciating it. I hope everyone enjoyed the lunch. Thank you again to the University of Waterloo for their generous support of lunch today. Is this on? Does it matter? I apparently have one of those voices that carries. It's been a virtue and a bit of a problem in my life at different times. Thank you, everyone, for joining us today here at the University of Cincinnati, where the co-op engine of work-integrated learning was born in 1906. But today we're here to launch the first ever global charter for co-op and work-integrated education, representing a commitment to the internationalization and scaling up of quality work-integrated education models around the world. This launch marks a moment in history where the global work-integrated education leaders have joined in this room together to position CWIE as a key strategy in the development of the future global workforce. I do want to take a few moments, because we've been joined today by our interchange employer friends and by the heads of 8 separate national associations from around the world representing co-op and work-integrated education, who have had the privilege of a little background on the charter. So I'd like to take a moment to share with them, and apologies to the presidents who have already heard this. Yes, it is indeed email checking time. I want to tell you a little bit about the history of this. We have at WACE been undergoing a couple of years of strategic planning, and as an outcome of that, we came to identify, as most people do when they do environmental scans of their organizations in this kind of work, we've identified sort of the unique strengths and opportunities that face this model of work around the world. And the idea for the charter came out of the months of that kind of planning, because we wanted to focus on one big idea that would help to solve several big problems, and an idea that would consolidate some of the goals that we were identifying in our strategic plan, but that would also extend the unique position and the unique skills and knowledge that have been developed over the 36 years that WACE has been around in this community, taking a leadership role on the global scene. And we wanted really, finally, to address the unique needs, and they are unique, I think, of preparing a truly globally mobile, borderless, productive workforce of the future. So those words are all loaded with a lot of meaning. But we felt that this was maybe our time to talk about not just education being an important tool for the development and for attacking some of these larger goals, but in particular, work-integrated education, and further still, work-integrated education that allowed for our students to work in each other's countries, in each other's institutions, and with the global and local partners in education, our employers who might employ them. So the charter was conceived, and it was developed through some fairly extensive interaction and conversation with our community, our work-integrated learning global community. We actually undertook a process called the Delphi process, which was an iterative process. We began it online because we needed to consult quite literally with the world. And in doing so, we got a lot of feedback and found out, as one often does when they engage in such discussions, I suppose, that we have many shared challenges. And they're shared whether they're in South Africa, whether they're in Canada, whether they're in Mexico, whether they're in Thailand. And we found those challenges offered particular opportunities, I suppose, for us in the post-secondary environment, where we could address them, and we could address them internationally through this conversation extending and talking about the partnerships that would evolve. So we identified 4 challenges. I'll share them briefly with you, and then we proposed 3 calls to action, and we asked for feedback from around the world, and we got a tremendous amount of written feedback from our survey. We reiterated the global charter to reflect that feedback. We went out again to a broader set of folks, checked it, and so we feel fairly confident, very confident that the challenges and the calls to action are a very good start for us collectively to begin the work that's needed to develop this borderless, mobile, culturally and interculturally fluent and competent workforce. So the challenges that we talked about are not going to be new to almost anyone in the room, because they were really in the public discourse, not just in the educational or employment discourse. The challenges really are, 1, the growing global economy and increasingly borderless world of work. And what does that mean, and how do we prepare students for that? We all know that, and we just heard over lunch, that the world's talent pipeline is no longer a single institution or system or city. It's totally a global one. And that sourcing the best and the brightest and the most resilient to work anywhere in the world requires a global perspective rather than a local one. One needs to be globally ready and globally fluent. And so the question for us was, what can we do around that as we prepare our students to graduate? We also know that the rate of change of business and industry is at such a pace that institutions or systems are often challenged to respond in what I think the receiving employers would consider a timely manner. And many report that gaps exist between what our graduates need to know and what they seem to think they know or understand that they know. And while cooperative education has its roots in the STEM, students from all disciplines and all genders and all socioeconomic status want to have the opportunity to have a work-integrated educational opportunity. But in many places in the world, it is still not an option. So this charter has developed 3 specific calls to action in response to the challenges that I've just articulated. These calls to action are intended to bring together the strengths of WACE and the WACE global community to focus on the following. The first thing we want to do is focus on a scaling up. We simply want to have more opportunities for our students to have international work-integrated experiences. We understand that in order to become truly interculturally fluent and a global work-ready citizen, the best way is to not just know about that experience, but to have actually that lived experience under your belt. So we believe that if we're able to scale up the number of international work-integrated experiences for our students, that will be the very, very first step to getting that high level of understanding that we're seeking. We know that learning about different cultures is one thing, but there's absolutely no replacing the value of experiencing another culture firsthand to really understand this concept. Next, we want to help develop and deliver resources and educational offerings that focus on preparing and supporting the students that are going to undertake these experiences in order to become global work-ready citizens. Things like a better background and preparation regarding intercultural fluency. Things like understanding risk-taking and adventure and resilience and how we respond when we're navigating the changes that don't just hit us when we cross geographic borders, but linguistic borders and cultural borders. And sometimes these borders are actually evident in the same country, but within employment sectors. The change is so dramatic. Or within cities in a large country, the cultures are so different. So what is it that we're doing, and how can we better prepare our students to navigate those? Because in the end, that is what will make them more work ready. And finally, we want to ensure that work-integrated education programs proliferate and adapt their curricula and approaches in order to meet a new set of environmental circumstances, new goals, new demands. It's important that we change. It's important that we recognize local differences and needs, but we need to do so based on 100+ years of practice and research that tells us what a quality program looks like. What is at the core? So we want to have a bit of a focus on quality assurance and quality framework so that there's a global articulation, so that when Canada has conversations with China and we talk about exchanging our students, we don't need to involve our registrarial people and bodies. We know that that is a globally attributable quality experience in integrated learning, and we will accept those experiences as such and transcript them as such. So a focus on scaling up the number of opportunities, a focus on better preparing and supporting certainly the students that are going out, but also the faculty and staff that work with those students to become more interculturally fluent. And thirdly, working to ensure that this wonderful model and models of education pays homage to the research and practice that has gone before it, and it is sure to always demonstrate what we know will make a quality program so that things do not appear to be watered down, but in fact are made more robust. So WACE will lead this work, but we cannot and will not do it alone. We hope that many of you in this room and many more will undertake work in partnership with each other, that new charter members will join us and WACE, and once answered, these 3 calls will serve to scale up CWE around the globe, across disciplines, help graduates become more globally fluent and adaptable, help new program models ensure they are evidence-based in their design and delivery, and help graduates reduce the reported skills and knowledge gaps by better understanding and being able to articulate what it is that they know and what it is that they can do. So we will set goals. We will do that as we progress with particular objectives and particular partners to make sure they resonate with our mutual agendas, and we will report out on those goals as we progress. Today, you take the lead in this work as an inaugural charter member, indicating you believe in this model of education and that you support the calls, and we commend you. This ceremony, for those of you that would wish to share it around the world, is being live streamed on YouTube, on the UC YouTube channel. The President Summit folks will have received a press release that is talks about this event and is customizable for your institution, your national association, your country, however you wish. That press release you have a hard copy of. You will also be getting your picture taken as you sign, and both the press release and the photographs, if you wish to have them so that you can customize this and get it to your colleagues back home for release through your media channels, will be available with Adam Brayford. Adam, if you could hold up your hand. Adam, wonderful. Adam will help you to get both of those in electronic form so that you can send them off if that's your desire. So I am absolutely delighted to see so many folks in the room at this official signing. Shortly, I'll be inviting up each signatory alphabetically by country to join Dr. Moritz van Rooyen, the co-chair of WACE, and myself as president at the table to sit, receive their certificate, and conduct the charter signing. And to start that off, of course, I must start with the birthplace of cooperative education president, Dr. Neville Pinto from the University of Cincinnati. The home of Next lives here to be our first official charter signatory. Neville? Oh, careful.
Excellent. There we go. I'll start, and then we check whether you can write your name, and then we check whether Nancy can write her name.
Thank you.
Excellent.
Much better.
Really, once again, appreciate everything.
And on deck, I'd like to invite Dr. Nora McCrae and Professor Arnold Van Zyl to come up next.
Could I say one thing?
Oh, I would
Just
love
one
you to.
sentence, and
Thank
I
you.
think the other presidents will feel the same way. We started this morning, I made some remarks about the reason we're doing this is for our students. And when you think about this, this is about providing additional opportunities for our students. And on behalf of the presidents and universities, I'd like to thank you, Dr. Johnson, and the rest of the staff for being so proactive in creating this charter, which I know will serve our students well. So thank you.
Thank you very much, President Pinto. Much appreciated. Thank you. So I have to thank you, Dr. Pinto, and I know you must run off to try and run this huge monolithic university, so thank you. I would like to invite now the University of Waterloo and University from Germany, DHBW. I will not attempt, I do not want to ruin your name. These are from Stuttgart in Germany, two largest cooperative education programs in the world. Between these two institutions, over 50,000 students are placed in paid full-time work experiences related to their credential that they're studying. And these are formidable programs and some of the largest that have spun out of this birthplace of Cincinnati. And so I wanted to invite these two largest programs in the world to come up and sign next. Thank you. Oh, you're doing it together. How lovely. Good. And Pinto forgot to sign there, so can you sign there too? Yeah, anywhere below it. It's okay. Do you want to say anything or just sit?
I do bring greetings from the University of Waterloo and our president, Dr. Feridun Hamdallapur. He would be delighted to be here. Unfortunately, he couldn't, but he's so terribly proud of our program. And I also want to say that we're very proud of our relationship with DHBW, which goes back many, many years and is a wonderful example, actually, of international cooperation around the field of cooperative education. And I'm sure that either one of us would be happy to talk to you about that and how that kind of engagement can be scaled up between other institutions. But it's certainly a pleasure, and I'm very humbled to be here today. And thank you to Nancy and Maritz for organizing this.
Thank you, Nora. Okay. Did Professor Benzo want to say anything?
And all we get home to take home is a pen.
It's very, very lovely.
You'd be glad. Next, I want to invite up the national associations who have agreed to sign on to the charter at this moment in time. So first, you may all come up together. I would like to introduce you to the Australian Collaborative Education Network, otherwise known as ACEN. I want to make you aware of the Association for Sandwich Education and Training out of the UK, known as ASET, who are going to sign but will be doing so virtually as they were unable to make it to Cincinnati. The Canadian Association for Work Integrated Learning, CWIL. The New Zealand Association for Cooperative Education, NZACE. The Thai Association for Cooperative Education, TACE. The Villar Network out of Sweden that works on future skilling and work integrated education, and the Cooperative Education and Internship Association of the United States, also known as CEIA. These are the 8 National Association members of WACE's National Association Committee. They have been providing invaluable input to the charter, but probably more importantly, they provide invaluable input and perspectives to WACE and allow us to take a really, truly global lens as we look at work-integrated learning as it grows and develops across the world. So firstly, a round of applause for these folks. They've done wonderful work in their countries. And now we get to start the signing train. Each of them will receive, so come on down, each of them will receive, there's Judy, a certificate to be brought back, and hopefully they can use this work at the global level to uplift the work that they are doing nationally, important work very much related to their government's policies and to the employment issues that are central to that particular area. And so we hope in some small way this charter can help shine a light on some of that work and rise it up to a larger agenda to show the importance of it. So thank you all from the various associations. So first we have Australia.
And I'll just
Do you
say
wanna say
something on behalf of the associations. We want to thank WACE. We're very delighted, on behalf of ACEN, very delighted to be involved. But I think on behalf of all the associations, some of the strength, following on from what was said just previously between the partnerships between Waterloo and the partnerships between the national associations and the sharing and the support to enable the growth and the strengthening and the quality of our programs is testament to my colleagues in all the other associations who generously share between the national associations, and that's all through our connections with WACE. So thank you.
Thank you. Next we have Seawill from Canada. There, and then on your shirt. Thanks. Yeah. Oh, that's a good one. Sure. Seagull. Great. Did you want to say anything? No. Okay. Thanks. Next we have from NZACE, Jenny. Thank you. New Zealand. Did you want to say anything, Jenny? No, it's all right. New Zealand Association up very long. There we are. Thank you. Thanks. Or you can keep the pen. Take the pen, please. Wonderful. And next, we're very honored to have the father of Thai cooperative education, Professor Witchett, to sign on behalf of TACE. So one signature there and then one after Moritz. Did you want to say anything? You go ahead. Yeah, right there. Much nicer pen. I'll fill that out, that's okay. Would you like to say a few words about?
On behalf of TACE, or Thai Association for Cooperative Education, we shall translate the charter into action
Excellent. I know
to
you.
become a reality. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, from the Villar Network in Sweden, Dr. Kristina Johansson. And then one Moritz. You got it. Perfect. Oh, too many pens. Yeah. Did you want to say a word or two? Say a word or two? You're fine? Thank you. She's fine. No? Okay, great.
I can't decide.
And Great. Thank you. And we will ensure that, CEIA, of course. Hello, we have two people. Where are they? Lynn? Perfect. Oh, Lynn, you're signing. So this is our newest member, if you can believe it, the irony of them joining us in the United States. We're so delighted that the U.S. Cooperative Education and Internship Association has joined us, and Lynn, that you're here, Lynn from Drexel, to sign on their behalf. And it's only fitting that this happened at a conference in the United States itself, so delighted to have you, Lynn. Did you want to say a few words on behalf of CEIA?
Sure, yeah. We had a strong relationship with WACE for several years, and that relationship ebbed and flowed like some do, and we're really excited to renew the relationship and have it be stronger than ever. I think we both have a lot to offer each other, so we look forward to it.
Great. Thank you very much. So much appreciate the support and the input and the feedback from our national associations. And now I'd like to invite individual institutions up by country, by alphabetical order. So there's no favoritism. This is how we did it. And ironically, the first country would be Canada. So perhaps that's why I needed to say that. I'd like to invite Mount Royal. I'm sorry, pardon me? Dismiss interchange. Oh, okay. So yes, thank you for reminding me of that. So our employer interchange partners have not finished figuring out how to create the future skilled workforce, so they must go and leave us. Thank you very much for joining us. Thank you for reminding me, Maureen. Thank you for the work you do. Thank you very much. So again, starting from Canada, representing Mount Royal University, Dr. Tim Raleigh, President.
That. There we go.
Thanks, Tim. From Simon Fraser University, Dr. Elizabeth L., VP Teaching and Learning. Ellie. Dr. Elizabeth Ellie. Oh,
it's only because I think you're fabulous.
Are you sure you want to sign up?
I do. Nancy told me I had to sign.
Hey, you're from New York. Right here, Elizabeth,
right
first, here? And then on the certificate. Thank you.
Great. Thank you. Great. We'll get that to you later. Thank you.
And from the University of Toronto Scarborough, Dr. Wisdom Teddy. Thank you. So, good to see you there. You can spell your correct name now. That's your prerogative. Right there and then on the next.
Right here.
Yeah, perfect. And one more. U of T, yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you very much. Yes, good to. Thank you. And finally from Canada, they won't come up, but just a reminder that the University of Waterloo was obviously a signatory. As the next country name is Germany, and we have already had our representatives from DHBW. Thank you very much. So I do want to remind folks, if you're coming in and out to refresh or whatever, that we will resume a more formal part of our afternoon, the talks and tours at 3 o'clock if you need to leave and come back, but we hope you can stay and watch the remainder of this signing. But just by way of reminder, 3 o'clock is another gathering time for us here. From Japan, I would like to welcome up Kanazawa Institute of Technology, President and his many VPs. Thank you. Reminder that Kanazawa Institute of Technology will be the host of our 2022 International Research Symposium, and we're looking so forward to being there. Right there. Thank you. Perfect. And then when Moritz is finished. Thank you, Dr. Osawa.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ms. Keiko Seda from our NPO in Japan and also WACE board member. Thank you so much, Keiko. Now from Malaysia, Professor Malik from the University Utara, Malaysia.
Do I sign?
Just the actual certificate. We'll sign it.
I like your signature. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Thank you.
That's wonderful.
Thank you. Thank you.
From Mexico, Ms. Hernandez Torres representing Universidad Tec Milenio, Mexico City. In truth be known, many, many campuses around Mexico.
Thank you very much.
Sign here.
Yep, that's perfect. Thank you very much.
Well, you can keep the pen.
Keep the pen.
Can I say just something? Can I say something?
Yes, certainly.
Well, thank you very much. I just want to say that we in Universidad Tec Milenio in Mexico, we are a university all over Mexico with 29 campuses. So we're very happy to be here. Thank you for the invitation. We're ready to learn, share, and collaborate and connect more for these great opportunities for the students in Mexico and all over the world. Thank you very much.
From the Netherlands, Paul Zevenberger, representing NBAO.
few words from my side. I'm very pleased but also very proud that what we do at NVO, quality assurance, is also one of the three main action points for WACE. In the Netherlands we have a huge debate, in the good sense of the word, on work integrated learning, so I'm looking forward to put our efforts together. So thank you so much.
From New Zealand, Professor Burns from Massey University, please.
Just there. And then,
Oh, yeah, it turned. I know it's tricky.
That's all right. Yeah. May I say a few words? Kia ora koutou katoa. Massey University is delighted to sign this agreement today, and we look forward to working with our partners. I'm here today on behalf of my Vice-Chancellor, Professor Jan Thomas, and I know that she sends her good wishes to all of you. Kia ora koutou.
Thank you.
You still have to sign the certificate.
Yes.
Thank you very much for being here.
Is it? Okay. Just leave it with you.
And also from New Zealand, Dr. Longhurst from the University of Waikato. Getting there. Thank you. Would you like to say anything?
Institution.
Yes.
Want to say something?
Kia ora koutou katoa. Waikato is very proud to be signing today, and given that New Zealand only has 8 universities in the whole country, I think it's marvellous actually that we have 2 here. So we look forward now to making sure that that charter really means something at Waikato. Thank you.
Thank you very much. From South Africa, I'd like to ask Professor and Principal Hans de Jager from the Central University of Technology to join us. Thank you. You guys don't like these long names.
I'm running out of space here. Should I say here?
Sure. Thanks so much.
Very briefly, I'm talking too much already.
No, you're fine. You came all this way.
Off my university. Again, that long name.
Thank you so much. Yeah, and either mic.
Oh, thanks. Thank you, colleagues. Yes, once again, congratulations and thanks so much, Nancy, to you and Team Maurits for this great initiative. It's a privilege for us to be part of this. And we will make this charter work for South Africa and Africa in the continent. Thank you. Well done.
Great. Thank you. And now from Thailand, with a delegation, actually it's Dr. Atit from Suriname University of Technology first. Yeah. Who you are, Director, yeah. No. There. We'll fill it in. It's okay. Thank you. Thank you, Atit. Yes. With the delegation from Prince of Songkla University in Thailand, please join us. Dr. Sadasuk Bonchirot. Thank you. Name. Thank you. One more spot.
Thank you very much. It is my honor and my privilege to be here today, and I do hope that this will be the platform for our future collaboration. We are going to make it work.
Yeah, promise. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
And Dr. Sharum Puchakayan from Wailala University in Thailand. They're next. 5 at a time? Perfect. Oh, right here. And, yeah. Thank you so much, and thank you for being such a great host when I was there. Yeah, we can fix it, yeah, okay. Yeah, we'll change it out. We'll scan it. And now the remainder of the signatories come from this wonderful country, the United States of America, and there are a number of you, and so I'm going to kind of bring you up in small groups to facilitate this.
One more from Thailand, Sipatum University.
Where?
Sipatum University.
Can you write it down for me? Oh, we have one more, I'm told, from Thailand, which is fantastic. Sepatong University, could you please come on up? My apologies. you of all the people. Sheesh. Here you go. It's just here. Sorry about that. Well, we'll fill that out. Just do these two, and we'll fill that out later. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you. Yes. Yes, go ahead.
Yes. Yes. On behalf of Dr. Rachini Porn Pukhayaporn Pukhaman, the President of Sivatum University, it's our honor and thank you, WACE, for the long relationship. It's almost 10 years from 10 years ago that we are joining this WACE. And I believe that from the signing today, it will strengthen our relationship and make it fruitful. And it will be opportunity for Sivatum University students and others to explore the world. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. From the USA, I'd like to invite up, although they will be signing individually, Dr. Cassie Barlow, President of the Southern Ohio Council for Higher Education. Dr. M. Kelly, President of Suffolk. Dr. Monica Posey, President of our just down the way Cincinnati State. And Ms. Maria Rickert, Director of Co-op and Career Services at Rochester University in New York. That will be our first group of American signatories. That's a pretty ring. Things I notice.
Thank you.
That's okay. They're long names we belong to. Thanks very much, Cassie. Did you want to say anything?
I'm good.
No?
No.
Good. Okay. Thanks. Dr. Kelly? Would you like to say a few words? Thanks.
At Suffolk University, we believe very strongly in the transformative power of work-integrated education. So I'd just like to say thank you to WACE for your leadership in this important work. We're very proud to be amongst the inaugural signatories.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. I may have missed Dr. Posey, Cincinnati State. Yeah, your name. Thankfully, your Cincinnati State's not too long. Thank you. Thank you. Wonderful. Do you want to say anything? Welcome to. No? Okay. And I'd like to call up Dr. Naganathan, who is the president of Oregon Institute of Technology in Oregon, USA, as well as a long-standing WACE board member.
Phone slipped.
Yeah. Just the top one, Maggie. Yeah. By the mic. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Oregon Tech is proud to sign this instrument as an inaugural member. We have declared a bold vision to be a globally prominent industries university, so this is truly in line with that, so we are delighted to be part of this. There is a second part. First of all, I want to compliment Nancy for accomplishing this milestone so early in her tenure as president.
It's all downhill.
As a board member, I know what we put her through, so my sincere compliments on that one. The second one, I do want to recognize two individuals. I want to recognize Dr. Paul Stoneley. I don't know if he's in the room. Paul, where are you? Oh, there you are. For all his tireless efforts. I'm coming up on about 20 years of association, first with National Co-op Commission and then with WACE right now. I know how much effort Paul has put through in his life to really keep this organization going. So Paul, thank you. And I want to recognize Dr. Nancy Zimfer. Is she in the room? There she is. I remember being a dean, joining the National Co-op Commission, being part of the meetings in which she was president, either at Cincinnati or Milwaukee, now I don't remember. One of those universities she was leading, and all her vision and the bold thinking that has really helped not only the organization but also co-op as a whole. So Nancy, thank you for all you have done. Please join me in a round of hands for both of these individuals.
Thank you, Nikki. And now the last group of USA delegates, I would like to call up Dr. David Rogers, president of SUNY Morrisville. Dr. Pat Sindel, professor representing President Chris Hoppe from Merrimack University in Boston. Mr. Ian Sladen, VP Co-op and Career Development from Drexel University in Philadelphia. And if he is still here, Mr. Jordan Vogel, VP Talent Initiatives on behalf of the Cincinnati Chamber of Commerce, who also wanted to be included. So, Dr. David Rogers, SUNY Morrisville. Thank you. One more. Just the top. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
Well, let me first say that I'd be remiss if I didn't also acknowledge the important role of Chancellor Zimfer, leading SUNY in many ways, but especially in acknowledging the important role of applied learning. It was she and her team that created a rather large umbrella of activities under that heading, and many SUNY campuses embraced it and have advanced the workforce integrated education across many of our programs. So thank you to Chancellor Zimfer. Second, I want to thank my current Chancellor, Christina Johnson, and her Provost, Todd Larson, for continuing that good work and extending the commitment across all 64 campuses, the largest public higher education system in the United States. And while I am signing proudly on behalf of SUNY Morrisville, let me add that at least symbolically, I'm joining with my colleagues across the system in our overall commitment to WACE and to workforce integrated education. We've been doing it for many years, but we've elevated it to a higher standard thanks to leadership at SUNY. Thanks.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Dr. Pat Sindel, Merrimack University, Boston. Just there, Pat. Name. One more. One more. Okay. Yeah, just the top. Yeah. There we go. Thank you very much. Okay. Do you want to say a word? No. Thank you, Pat. And last but certainly not least, my colleague from Drexel University, Mr. Ian Sladen, Vice President, Co-op and Career Development.
Thank you. We'll start here. All right.
You're a lefty.
These are tests to make sure you know how to spell. Yes.
Yeah. You're on name. Yeah, it'd be nice if you're the last one.
Sure. Absolutely.
Thanks. Yeah.
Yeah, on behalf of our president, John Fry, I just want to express our thanks to our colleagues at WACE for pulling all of this together. We're delighted to be one of the inaugural signatories, and we will certainly do our part in the United States to enhance cooperative education and work integrated learning. Thank you.
Thank you very much. So if perchance I have missed anyone or anyone has just been motivated to sign on in the inaugural state, please do come up. But barring that, I would like to thank you very much for joining us today. I hope that this is the beginning of realizing many, many of the aspirational goals we have outlined in the Charter through the partnerships and the agreements and the true commitment to this model that has been demonstrated today, and to raise this up and provide enormous numbers of quality, work-integrated education experiences around this world for the up-and-coming next generation. Thank you.
Thank you, Nancy, as well. And,
Nancy, I think I'm going to turn this over to the other Nancy, because you're only allowed to talk if you're Nancy today. And she'll tell us about the opportunities next.
in this ecosystem that David Adams talked about, but understand the physical community roots of this area that surrounds the University of Cincinnati campus. Our second topic then takes us back to our conversations about early childhood to career, where we have a great example of work-integrated learning beginning in high school in IT talent. So it's two sort of quick, interesting descriptions that we thought would inform you. And then at 4, or whenever we finish before 4, we've got tours of the building. And then, you know, you will be heavily rewarded by a reception and libation and food, and it'll all be great. So, are we good to go?